Yeah, we're staying with the marine and blue economy, and now we have a new minister designate, Mr. Adegoyega Oyetola, former governor of Osun State. So, but we have to discuss that Mrs. Boma Alabi. She's a senior advocate of Nigeria and the chairman of Shipping Lines Association of Nigeria. Mrs. Boma, thank you so much for your time. So are you happier with the first person or the second person as your minister? And congratulations. I know you guys have been asking for this blue economy for a while. Now you have a ministry to yourself. Yes. So congratulations. And are you happy with your minister?
They've all been passed by the Senate. So I expect that whoever is assigned the task of heading this new ministry will be equal to that task. We're here to help them. And yes, we're happy that we have a marine economy ministry, but at the same time, we are apprehensive. And I'll tell you why. Because if it's not properly handled, it's only going to cause more problems rather than creating solutions. So, for instance, I hear, and I hope it's not true, that Nigerian Ports Authority will stay under the Ministry of Transport. You can't keep those two, the marine economy and the Ports Authority in two separate ministries because you're creating silos. They work together. When the vessels come in, the MPA provides the towing vessels that bring them in. They're working so closely with shipping, maritime transport, that it's just illogical to have them in two different ministries. We already have challenges with transportation after they get off the vessels. So, for instance, the roads that leads away from the port are under a different ministry. And you talk to the Ministry of Transport, it's like, sorry, this is Federal Ministry of Works. You need to bring them together in order for it to work properly. And if we do it right, potentially, this is a $1.5 trillion industry, the blue economy, worldwide. Nigeria has not even begun to explore it. Yes, maritime transport were there, but fisheries and the aquatic environment were doing very little. The Chinese are in our space, raping our fisheries.
Yeah, because we had a story about illegal fishing last week.
Illegal fishing is like they're coming to Nigeria and setting up industries. That's what's happening. And then they're taking it back out of our economy. So it's important that this ministry has been created. Potentially, it has the ability to generate more income for us than even this oil that we're talking about.
So Mr. Adegoyega has a lot to do. But I hear there's also a sentiment, discordant sentiment between in the waterways with the state government and the federal agencies who owns the waterways and all of that.
Waterways and all of that. Yes, there is, we're beginning to align in that sense, but certainly there are areas that are not as clear as they should be. But from our perspective, we're international shipping lines. That's not really an area that we're involved in. But certainly, everything should work cohesively. And I, as an individual, with the knowledge I have of this industry, I'm very concerned about the regulators, particularly the federal regulators, and the way things are working with us. The barges who move our goods from when they've landed in country to those local areas you talk about. Do you know they're being charged in dollars?
I mean, Mr. Falana said it on one of our programs, Sunrise Daily, last week, and it was trending, and some people came to say it's not true.
It is true. Why are you charging local operators with local businesses in US dollars? How does that make sense? Is it even aligned with the CBN regulations in the first place? And then we're talking about strengthening the Naira. Surely all government agencies should be issuing their invoices and charging us in Naira.
Why can't we?
Plus NIMASA, plus Nigerian Ports Authority. Why would you be charging in a foreign currency? Why can't you charge in your own currency for services that are being provided to us here in Nigeria?
Is there an explanation to that? I know when you talk about crude, for instance, crude is being paid for in dollars, is being charged.
You're exporting crude and you're selling it outside of Nigeria. Naturally, you pay in dollars. I'm providing you services in Nigeria. In Nigeria. Why are you charging me in dollars?
You are a senior advocate of Nigeria. Why haven't you done something about this? The court is there. You guys own the court.
We shouldn't have to go to court with our regulators.
Well, it's been a complaint for a while.
Yes, it has been.
So let's do something.
That's why I'm putting it out here. We have a new government. We have a new minister, a new ministry. Hopefully, new things will be done in a different way going forward.
All right. Well, we do hope that this will obviously be taken into consideration. And some time ago, you did, I saw in one of the publications that you were not happy that ports are revenue driven. But we know that customs have their targets and all of that. What should they be? How should they be working?
Of course, customs should not have a target in that sense, because your primary objective is not just revenue. It's also about assisting our exporters and making it easier for them to get their goods out. Currently, our exporters are seriously challenged because of regulatory bottlenecks that they have to deal with in getting their goods out. That makes them less competitive than our neighboring countries, and ultimately does not help our economy. So that should be the priority. Not in collecting revenue at the expense of business in a way that makes us uncompetitive. Why are the ports in Cotonou growing and next door? These small countries are providing services to Nigeria because their ports are more competitive. And it shouldn't be the case. Because if you look at the tonnage that goes through their ports, you know that it is impossible for them to use that tonnage. It's clearly coming to us.
And Nigeria is the giant of Africa.
Thank you. So our ports really need to be more competitive. There should be more synergy in the way these agencies work, and certainly more consideration to the exporter who's struggling to get their goods out and compete with others on a level playing
What
ground.
about turnover time? Is it better now?
It is better, but it can be a lot better. Certainly. We still have areas of inefficiency,
Right.
and that's...
Like?
Yes, that's not good for us.
So areas of deficiency or
inefficiency.
Like
So, for example, I have perishable goods I want to export out of Nigeria. Let's say hibiscus.
Cashew?
Hibiscus.
Okay. Oh, that's so sensitive.
That is so sensitive.
Yes, it is.
And we've had situations where, they've been stuck in the port. Well, not in the port, in the process to get exported. To the extent that by the time they get to destination, it's gone bad, or it's infested with insects, which would not have happened if it had moved in good time.
So is it the bureaucracy? Is it the infrastructure?
Both. Double whammy. Infrastructure,
How do we survive
lack
that?
of infrastructure, and bureaucracy.
That's a whole lot of work ahead of Mr.
Yes, so
Adegboyega.
absolutely. So government really has to invest in infrastructure if they're serious about this blue economy.
So I'm
has to
wondering now,
invest in
because we know that, at least in Lagos, the issue of infrastructure, the road to the port and out of the port has been a major one. Now that we have a ministry, I wonder how that's going to help, because the ministry or the minister can still tell you, well, the road belongs to the Federal Ministry of Works. It's not under my purview. I cannot spend the funds given to me on that. So, I wonder how we're going to manage that.
This is why, so we have a supervising minister of the economy. Coordinating minister, all these pretty words. But they can work together, and they must work together. You can't have silos and expect it to work. I'll give you an example. I traveled on a ferry to Apapa from Lagos Island because at the time, Ambode was governor. It was, the ferries are, so let me test it. So I left my car on the Lagos Island side, jumped on the ferry, got to Apapa. There was no way to move from that jetty to my destination. So there were no taxis, there was nothing. Similarly, if you want this to work, goods arrive on vessels, maritime transport, blue economy. On arrival, they need to be taken efficiently to their end destination, be it by rail or by road. So those two ministries have to work closely with the Minister for the Blue Economy for things to work properly and for us to really get a bite, a good chunk of this $1.5 trillion.
If not, the Chinese will just be taking our portion and we'll be right there. But
absolutely.
So it's a whole lot, obviously. And at this time in the country, we do know that the country is squeezed on funds. That's why we had to go and borrow $3 billion last week,
That's
from
a drop in the ocean.
Yeah, but
that's a drop in the ocean.
And now the state governors have like $5 billion out of that, and all of that's a story for another day.
Mm-hmm.
What should the minister? I think they're getting sworn in today. That's the ministers.
And congratulations to all of them.
Congratulations to all of you. But as you get in, do know that there's so many voices, so many expectations awaiting you.
Absolutely.
What should Mr. Gboyega be looking out for first? Maybe in the first 100 days we can applaud him and say, thank God that we have you in this Blue Economy Ministry.
First and foremost, talk to industry. We have the knowledge. We can help you. If you do not understand how it works, you won't understand how to make it better. You have to understand how it works, and then it makes it easier for you to provide solutions. Otherwise, you have people in government doing things that really doesn't make sense because it doesn't assist the industry. For instance, asking shipping lines to provide holding terminals. Let me put this in language that every Nigerian will understand. So you're flying. I am Lufthansa, right? I fly aeroplanes. Is it my business to provide your holding for luggage in your airport? Is it? Can't possibly be. But that's what they're doing in our industry, to say, although you're just moving boxes or whatever it is from point A to point B, we still want you to come and set up holding terminals. So there are logical policies that currently create inefficiencies in place at the moment. So as the new minister, with a new ministry and a chance for a fresh start, talk to industry, understand, and then you can find solutions and implement.
And implement what the industry, because talking to them is one thing.
Precisely, and then we will all generate revenue in a positive way that enhances the economy and grows it.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Buma Alabi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria and Chairman of Shipping Lines Association. We certainly wish the minister the best, but we want also the best for us.
Absolutely.
As Nigerians and as you, the Shipping Association. Thank you so much for your time.
You're most welcome.
All right, let's take a break now. When we come back, the program continues. State of Nigerian economy, especially as the ministers are coming in, they have to come in and hit the ground running, as they always say, not just in words, in reality. We'll talk about that afterwards.